When someone moves into long-term care, families usually focus on the big things: the room, the paperwork, the medications. But there's one thing that often gets missed, and it makes a bigger difference than most people realize: hearing. When hearing aids are overlooked during this transition, small problems start to build. Devices stop working, they're not worn properly, or they go missing. And when that happens, everything becomes harder. Conversations become confusing, care becomes more difficult, and it's much harder for your loved ones to feel comfortable and settled. Hi, I'm Jennifer, owner of Hear at Home in North Vancouver. I'm a registered hearing instrument practitioner and certified dementia practitioner. And since 2009, I've been helping people and their families manage hearing care, both in clinic and in care settings. Moving into long-term care is already a major transition. It can feel unfamiliar and overwhelming. And when your loved one can't hear well on top of that, it becomes much harder to adjust, connect, and feel at ease. So I want to walk you through a simple 5-step checklist to help support their hearing during this transition. Step 1. Know what your loved one already has. Before or shortly after the move, start by understanding what hearing equipment your loved one is using. It sounds simple, but it's one of the most important steps. If you don't know where the hearing aids came from, it becomes much harder to get support, book follow-ups, or fix problems when something isn't working. Start by gathering the basics. Where were the hearing aids purchased? Which clinic do they belong to? And what brand are they, such as Phonak, Oticon, or Signia? You can ask your loved one, or look for clues like boxes, receipts, or the charger and case. If you're not sure which clinic they came from, the manufacturer's Canadian office can often help point you in the right direction. Once you have that information, it's a good idea to book an appointment with the hearing clinic, either before or shortly after the move. If possible, attend that appointment with your loved one so you can ask questions and understand how everything is set up. Getting this information in place early makes everything else much easier moving forward. Step 2. Understand how the hearing aids are used day to day. In a care home, staff are usually the ones helping with daily handling. That includes putting the hearing aids in each morning, taking them out at night, making sure they're turned on or off, and giving them a quick wipe. But as a family member, it's still important that you understand how everything works. Not because you'll be doing it every day, but so you can support the care team and step in if something isn't going as expected. At the appointment, ask the hearing clinic to show you the basics step by step. How the hearing aids are inserted and removed, how they're charged or where the batteries go, what normal looks like when they're working properly. One simple tip is to take a short video on your phone while this is being explained. That way, if questions come up later, you'll have something clear to refer back to or share with staff. If you're not able to attend with your loved one, you can still book your own appointment and bring the hearing aids with you. When you understand how they're meant to work, it becomes much easier to notice when something isn't right. Step 3. Get the key details in place early. There are a few important details that are easy to miss during this transition, but can create delays or problems later if they're not handled early. Start with access. Make sure the power of attorney is confirmed and on file with the hearing clinic. This allows you to speak on your loved one's behalf and get support when needed. Next, check the warranty. Find out if the hearing aids are still under warranty and when that coverage expires. If it's close to ending, it's a good idea to have the devices checked before that happens. And finally, check when the last hearing test was done. If it's been over a year or you've noticed changes, it's worth booking an updated hearing assessment along with a hearing aid check and an earwax check. Taking care of these details early helps avoid delays, reduces stress, and makes it much easier to get support quickly if something isn't working. Step 4. Set up a simple plan for ongoing care. Hearing aids need regular care to keep working properly. In most care homes, staff will help with the day-to-day handling, but more detailed care is different. Things like deeper cleaning, replacing wax guards or domes, and checking that the hearing aids are working properly are usually best handled by a family member or supported through a hearing clinic. That's why it helps to have a simple plan in place. Decide who will take the lead on hearing care. This might be a family member who checks in regularly or a hearing clinic that provides ongoing support. During visits, you can do a quick check. Are the hearing aids turning on? Are they clean? Is your loved one hearing well? If something doesn't seem right, it's important to act early. Let staff know and follow up with the clinic if needed. Small issues can usually be fixed quickly, but if they're missed, they tend to build over time. You can also plan ahead by scheduling regular hearing appointments and setting reminders. When there's a clear plan in place, everything becomes more consistent and much easier to manage. Step 5. Set clear expectations and prevent common issues. There are a few challenges we see again and again in care homes. Hearing aids go missing, devices stop working, or they're not being used consistently. But one of the biggest issues comes down to expectations. So the most effective approach is to have a clear plan in place. Family members help oversee and coordinate care, and a hearing clinic provides the clinical support when needed. There are also simple ways to reduce issues. Using a cord and clip can help prevent loss. Labeling devices and chargers helps keep things organized. And having a clear record of what your loved one uses makes it easier to identify when something is missing or not working. When roles are clearly defined, problems are reduced, and your loved one is much more likely to hear well and stay connected. I've seen situations where hearing aids weren't working and no one realized it. Your loved one is already adjusting to a new environment, and if they can't hear clearly, it becomes much harder to follow conversations, build trust, and feel comfortable. When hearing is supported properly, everything becomes easier. If you'd like to see how hearing care is supported inside a long-term care home, you may want to watch our video on mobile care home visits, where we walk you through how we support residents, families, and care staff. And if you'd like help reviewing your loved one's hearing aids, learning how everything works, or making sure it's all set up properly, you can reach out to us at Here at Home anytime. We're happy to help you understand what makes the most sense.